Hello and welcome to the Untranslatable Podcast. We are here recording episode 123, and today we are going to be talking about my preparations for China and what it looks like when you are planning for staying somewhere for 10 months, almost an entire year, and what to pack for, what to expect, and how to get ready for a new life adventure. So we're looking forward to it, and my buddy who has all the right questions in all the right places, my buddy Jared. What's going on, Jared?
It's a sad day. It's been nice having you here over the summer. We haven't seen each other consistently for a while, but it's a sad day, everyone. But before we get all sad about it, hug and make out on the show and whatnot, let's spread a little love. Hold on. Hey, how about we spread a little love? There we go. And follow us on Instagram, Untranslatable Podcast. I went to Canada. You can see a picture of the Ambassador Bridge. We'll talk about that in a second. You can follow us on Twitter, Untranslatable1, the number 1. I always post episodes there. Sometimes Songs of the Pod, but if the Songs of the Pod aren't there, you can bet your bippy they'll be on the YouTube playlist. We have a YouTube Song of the Pod playlist. Also on the YouTube channel, you can see us live in action. You can see Chad moving his microphone right now. You could be that lucky to see that. You can also spread a little love with some 5-star reviews on iTunes and Stitcher. So yeah, dude, on Instagram there are pictures of the Ambassador Bridge, which is the bridge from Detroit, Michigan to Windsor, Ontario. And it's funny because from where I live, it's only about 30 minutes away, but it feels like a legitimate adventure, Like I'm like, oh my God, I'm in a new country now. It feels almost the same as going to like Europe in a weird way.
Sure, yeah.
We took the bridge on the way there, and honestly, the only reason we went there because we were just like, let's go somewhere for dinner, and then we're just like, let's just go to Canada. Why not? And so we got our passports and we went, and didn't get searched. Not that
That's
it would have
good.
been okay if we did though. There was nothing.
No contraband
illegal.
with you this time.
No, they
huh,
wouldn't have
Jared?
found anything. We didn't even go to duty free and get a liter of alcohol for $6.
Rookie mistake right there, Jared.
But it was a lot of fun, and we went to like the Italian area of Windsor and got some great Italian food, and it was just cool to be able to drive 30 minutes to be like, all right, now we're eating dinner in Canada.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Did you also take a look at Detroit across the river from the Windsor side?
I remember seeing some good angles of the Renaissance Center, which is a
Nice.
staple of Detroit, I would say, for sure. It was a lot of fun. So I don't really have anything to say about that. I just like the idea. It was so funny how constantly in my head I was just like kind of jazzed about the fact that I was in a different country. It's like, wow, is this
fun.
easy?
It's fun going to Windsor when you are so close.
Right. But the
really
thing is,
great.
I guess if you're in Europe, no one would get that excited about going to... I didn't even get that excited about going to a different country when I was there visiting you.
Right.
I was just like, all right, now we're in Germany. Or
Yeah.
now we're in Czech Republic.
Yeah, it's a little closer over there, and plus, well, I know some people that when I lived in Mayen a couple summers ago in Germany, they used to take like I forget what they called it. They had a special German word for it, and they would go get breakfast in France. Like they would stay up super late. And then they'd drive really early in the morning and go get breakfast in Paris and then come back.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. How long was the drive?
I have no idea.
Because if
I
it's
think
like
3 or 4 hours.
if it's a party night, that's a lot of time, Like if you're doing this after like a crazy night on the town, I don't want to drive for 4 hours.
Right.
And I don't want someone that's been partying all night to drive me for 4 hours.
Right. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah. I agree with you, man. But the funny thing is too, here driving for 4 hours doesn't seem that long to most Americans I know. But Europeans are like, it was a 2-hour drive? That's so long.
Yeah. Well, we always justify it with the classic Chicago to Detroit 4-hour trip because it takes an hour to fly to Chicago from the Detroit airport. However, most people can argue that it takes the exact same amount of time to drive versus flying because you have to factor in, getting to the airport early.
Yep.
Then landing, getting off the airport, getting a ride to wherever you're going. And if you factor all that stuff in, it's actually probably about the same time to just drive to your location.
Absolutely.
And
I agree.
I hate airports. It's just way less stressful to be in your own space. You can eat, it's not great food, but it's better. But it's a great excuse.
if you eat at the restaurants in the terminals. That can be pretty expensive.
And it's a great excuse when you're driving to eat crappy food.
That's always true, yeah.
Yeah, terminal food is expensive and not that great, and airplane food is, well, I guess if it's an hour flight, essentially non-existent.
Guess how much I paid for when I came back from DC. I was starving, or no, actually before I left, and McDonald's was right by my terminal, so I went to McDonald's. Take a guess.
He gave in.
How much it cost to get a meal? So chicken nuggets, fries, and a drink.
$7.
I think it was like 9 something.
Wow. How many chicken nuggets did you get?
10. I should have just got the 20 piece, because the 20 piece was $5. And
That's how they get you. That's how they get you.
Yep.
But going without the fries is a hard one to do for me.
And I don't mind McDonald's fries. They're pretty good.
Yeah, but McDonald's leaves a weird taste in my stomach these days. I want to become a Popeyes person. Have you been seeing about this Popeyes versus Chick-fil-A?
Not at all. No.
Okay. All right. Well, don't even worry about it then. It's not even worth it. You're not even worth it. But you are going to China soon.
Yep.
And that's why we're here today on your final day here in Michigan.
Yep.
And we were talking about recently health and safety, and that was a big part of your preparation for going to China. Mm-hmm. We talked about how I gave you a Z-Pack because I was like, listen, I know you're getting some of these, but you can use as many as you can get because you are convinced that you're going to have some bathroom situations.
Probably, yep.
Another concern there is also mosquitoes and malaria and that. Mm-hmm. And I was mentioning you need some industrial strength bug repellent. So
Yep. Oh, you got
you some
Ooh.
industrial strength bug repellent.
Look at that.
It's a lotion.
12 hours.
It's pretty aggressive. Take it open and just give it a whiff. Don't stick your entire nose in there. It doesn't smell bad, but it just is very pungent.
Oh, yep. Okay.
Yeah. But that is what I bought when I went to Tanzania. And obviously that's not going to last you 10 months.
It's got that DEET. This is good stuff right here, buddy.
That's top quality. What's DEET?
DEET is what they tell you.
Yeet.
Yeet. No. DEET is what you want. They say it's one of the best mosquito repellents out there.
Oh, well, there you go.
So
only the best for my co-host, Chad.
Perfect. I appreciate it, buddy. I'm
yeah,
gonna
man.
have to take this with me. I have a small pharmacy, more or less, going with me over there.
They're going to think you're a drug kingpin. You know that. They're like, oh, my God, he's bringing in all this Sudafed. He's going to make some bathroom drugs. What kind of stuff did you bring? You have a small pharmacy. What does that include?
So I brought, let's see here. I always blank on the antihistamines. I brought some allergy meds.
What you used to make meth, I think.
It's Sudafed.
Sudafed?
I have some Sudafed as well. All these are generics, by the way, people. Mm-hmm. Unless you have an adverse reaction, I would highly suggest just getting generics. Same stuff, way cheaper. I have some Pedialyte because I have, not for hangovers, believe it or not, but more so...
Because you're a child.
Yes, and to rehydrate yourself afterwards.
After what?
After the bathroom episodes that will probably happen. Yep. Let's see here.
You're
what
so
else?
Oddly prepared.
Some Pepto-Bismol for your tummy.
Wow.
Some Tums as well. Let's see here.
Jesus Christ. Have you ever gotten heartburn before?
I have not.
But you think this is the time?
Might be. You never know. This is the way I look at it, Jared. With my little mini pharmacy here, I figure at least the first couple months I'm there, if anything goes down, I won't have to worry about trying to go out and get something.
Right.
You know? So as long as it happens at home, and as far as I know right now, where I'll be working should be within walking distance of my apartment. So things can be easily taken care of.
It sounds like you have more than enough to keep you going for the entire time.
Definitely. Have some cold medicine.
Also, when you were in Czech Republic, how often did you get sick?
I think twice, 3 times.
Okay. What kind of sick did you get? Did you really get sick that many times?
Once was a pretty bad stomach ache. I know. It was bad. Another one was you're not a very good doctor, Jared. Let's see.
Your little tummy hurt.
Let's see here. What else? And then like a cold, and I think that's about it. More or less.
All right. But I understand these are different circumstances.
Right.
All right. Well, we'll talk about that later. I just wanted to give you a little gift, a little going away gift,
Right.
something to keep you safe while you're there.
I guess I'll show you later. I took a picture before I started packing, and you can see all my junk and my suitcases. So I figure that would be kind of interesting, not only for you to see, but for our listeners out there who are curious. What the heck do you bring for 10 months?
You guys might see that picture.
You might. You never know.
But for now, I'd say we
Spread a little love.
I agree, Jared. I agree.
We'll get back to your impending move in a second.
So the first shout out I have for today goes out to a woman named Jackie Berglund, who has started this, what they call, I guess, a reverse food truck. But basically what she does is she, let's see here, I'm trying to read it here. So they were trying to brew this beer that I guess what they have been doing now is they've been donating the profits to different food banks and stuff. So basically, their motto here, Jared, is
This is how Chat teaches people. He's like, hold on, let me read this as I'm trying to explain it at the same time. I just pick things.
So they turn beer into food is their motto. So I think that's awesome. So basically, what they do is
what's up with the truck?
So the truck here, so it's a reverse food truck, right? So it's a food drive. So basically, I'm assuming...
people donate food to the truck.
Exactly.
Is that what we're assuming? Because you
Yes.
didn't read the article?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I don't know why I'm being so feisty today.
You are being awful feisty today, but yeah. I think it's great, though.
I'm just sad that you're leaving.
That's fair.
I'm not handling it well.
Taking it out on me, that's fair,
Yeah.
Joe. But yeah, I just think it's amazing, though, that they have basically turned this brewery into using the profits to have this reverse food truck. And I love the concept of a reverse food truck.
Yeah.
It's really awesome.
It would be cool if they could sell beer out of it, but I'm sure you can't sell beer out of a truck.
Probably, I don't know. So I feel like in Louisiana you could probably...
Is that where they are?
No, they're in Minnesota. But I'm just thinking in Louisiana, I remember you telling me about the drive-through.
Oh, yeah.
So if you could do
there
a
are
drive-through
daiquiri places there.
Daiquiri place, why couldn't you have a drive-through beer place?
That's true. And there are drive-through liquor stores also in the South.
Right.
And actually Colorado, too, I remember going to one.
So see, there you go. But yeah, so I think this is great what Jackie
agree.
Berglund is doing. So big ups to her, and I think that's really amazing.
Yeah. That would be a cool. That looks like a cool brewery. I'm looking at a picture of the brewery.
So my last shout out for today, only two today,
Spread a little love.
goes out to a church in Arkansas, spelled Arkansas, in case you didn't know.
Arkansas.
Or Arkansas, I guess.
John Arkansas, nice to meet you.
And the church in Arkansas, though, Jared, paid off $3 million in medical debt for people in the community, which is great. So basically, the city church is partnered with a national nonprofit, and they wanted to turn $26,000 donation, but then it eventually went up to $3 million.
Why'd you skip that very important part in the middle? Why can't you just read it?
I was gonna get there.
Oh, okay.
Because Jared, they teach us in school if you just read it word for word, in a way we're plagiarizing. I'm trying to put this in my own words.
Not if you give them credit.
That's fair.
Also, no one thinks you wrote this, by the way.
That is also true. I'm not a
Chad
news
does the
reporter in
lowest
Arkansas.
level of preparation. But
you're really on me today. God damn it, Jared. So
I didn't even mean that as an insult. He's just that good, is what I'm getting at.
So what Jared wanted me to read, though, is this has turned into life-changing gifts for 1,589 people in central Arkansas. So I think this is really great. The fact that they have wiped out more than $3 million worth of medical bills.
I wonder how they get that news. Do they just open their account and it's at zero?
Yeah, that's a good
or
question.
like, is someone calling 1,005, essentially 1,600 people,
Right.
and be like, "Good news! All right, bye bye, gotta go."
Also,
I'm gonna be here for months doing this.
Right. Also, I don't know how they pay for it. Like, do they just here's $3 million? Like, choose whoever you want. Like, I don't know how they do that either. Is it only members of their congregation? I have no idea.
Yeah, that's a good point. How do you choose that?
Right.
There are also people that this maybe makes a little more sense. That'll go to stores around the town and pay off people's layaway around Christmas or something. For some reason that seems easier than paying off debt and loans and stuff like that.
Right.
That seems so complicated.
Especially
I barely know
bills.
how to. It takes effort for me to find my loan information. I'd be like, what's my password? How do I? What's the account number? It's and now then some stranger can just show up and pay it.
Right.
Wow, all right,
Right.
There you go.
Yeah. But it's this. Although this is an amazing and heartwarming story, Jared.
Yeah.
It also, sadly, I think you know where I'm going with this.
I do.
Maybe.
I do.
It does highlight one of the big issues we have in the United States, which is how expensive medical care is. And I'll be honest with you, Jared. I went without a couple. They weren't super important procedures, but my doctor wanted me to get a blood test to test my cholesterol levels, and I was gonna do that. And then when we called them, because I only have major medical insurance right now, which basically means if I were to get in a car accident and was hospitalized,
his organs are still fresh.
that's right. If it's anything catastrophic, I'm covered, but basic stuff I'm not covered. So I'm not covered for my checkups and no prescription coverage, nothing. And so I was going to get my blood tested or my triglycerides tested, and it turned out being over $500.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
and
ridiculous.
So I ended up not doing it. So hopefully I don't have high cholesterol.
I guess so. Yeah.
But, yeah.
That's a concern I never thought about that you have. Do you think about that in your, like post China, or do you just not concern yourself with that at this point? That's months away.
I have a weird feeling that I think after China, I'm hoping I'll actually be a little healthier. That's like I have this weird feeling because when I was in the Czech Republic,
That sounds like someone that's dying soon would say.
I was walking around more in the Czech Republic. I have a feeling it will be the same in China. I'll be
Right.
walking around more. I think
You're definitely going to sweat more in China.
Yep. I think I'll also be eating a lot different foods over there. Hopefully healthier foods as well.
What I meant though was,
The medical insurance.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm super worried. I don't know what's
Okay.
gonna happen. Yeah, I have no idea. What will probably happen is I'll just go with the major medical plan again because if we looked into other plans for me, and one of them that would have covered doctor's visits and stuff, take a guess how much that insurance would have cost me per month.
Probably like $1,000.
$800 a month.
Jesus Christ.
And there's still like a rather large deductible on that.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
But the whole reason why I brought this up though, Jared, was not to tell my sob story here. But what's interesting is that approximately
Chad's
20%
getting healthier, everyone.
of American adults have unpaid medical bills. Now, I don't know if this
say that
means-
again?
So
What
approximately
percentage?
20% of
Jeez,
American adults have
1/5.
unpaid medical bills. Now, I don't know if this means that they're in debt or they have a payment plan or what, but still the fact that
I think that just means there's 20% of people have like a balance that they have to pay for medical reasons.
right,
Of
and
some sort.
it's expensive.
Yeah.
It's very expensive. So
Yeah.
it's great that this church in Arkansas has paid off all of this money. So we
Yeah.
send all of our love to, does it say the church? It does not say the church. So there you go.
City Church.
Thank you. City Church in, I believe, Russellville, Arkansas. So there you go.
Yep. Alrighty. Cool.
Well, Jared, I think you know what time it is.
I do. The actual clock jumped the gun. But we won't have any of those shenanigans happening
Scoot
anymore.
this over so Jared can't peep on my untranslatable.
This is the untranslatable owl because we're about to share some new untranslatable phrases, which are idioms, sayings, proverbs, axioms that don't make any sense if you translate them directly to English but have a meaning in a different language. And you're welcome to send us some on any of the social medias or our email, untranslatablepodcast@gmail.com. We do them every episode.
So, Jared, mind if I start us off?
Sure, man.
I've got a Russian one for you today.
Пожалуйста.
I wanted to stick with the kind of Slavic language thing a little bit
Are you feeling a little homesick?
of the Czech
Old
Republic.
homesick? Yeah.
A little bit, yeah. So here we go. So it is Veshat lapu na ushi. Do you remember what ushi means?
No.
Czech. It's the same in Czech and Russian.
But I've heard it before.
Ushi is ears.
Okay.
I think the Czech untranslatable, if I remember correctly, it was like behind your ears or something like that.
Okay.
And I thought it means like a clever person. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But anyways, so to hang noodles on your ears is what this means, Jared. Veshat lapu na ushi. To hang noodles on your ears.
To hang noodles on your ears. And this is Russian. Mm-hmm. Is that to make yourself out to be a fool? Embarrass yourself?
I think the judge.
Am I going farther away?
Yeah.
Oh.
So Jared, for example, if I told you, oh yeah, buddy, actually, I'm not flying to China tomorrow. I'm going to fly to China next week. I'm really just hanging noodles on your ears.
You're just messing with me. Pulling my leg.
Yeah, or lying to somebody.
Lying. Oh, just straight up lying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not that. I don't get a hammer off
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
Pathetic. Anyway,
I'd say maybe this could equate to pulling somebody's leg too. Maybe.
okay,
Maybe.
okay. My next one is my first one is Swiss German, and it goes Sitzende sagen ich eben so viel wert wie in Lagunde Schisser.
What language is this again?
Swiss
That's what I
German.
thought it was. Okay.
Sitzende sagen ich eben so viel wert wie in Lagunde Schisser. I sounded Italian a little bit on that one.
Yeah, give me the English translation.
A seated salmon is worth as much as a supine shit. Or excuse me,
Do you want me to grab that?
I got it. As much as a supine shitter. What's supine? I think that's like lying down.
Maybe, yeah. It's like
Supine
is it like
position.
Yes, is it laying? Huh.
The supine position means lying horizontally with the face and torso facing up.
Okay.
So
So it's like that's not worth much, or
no.
something useless.
No, that's not it.
Can you give me a clue?
A seated salmon is worth as much as a supine shitter. It essentially
So
means
it's not useful.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess
Right?
that's fair. That's fair. It essentially means No, that's hey, listen. The judges were over there waving their hands like, just shut up, listen to us. The reason I was confused is because the meaning that they gave was you have to make an effort yourself, get up and do something if certain work is to be done properly. But it's essentially saying stop being lazy and do it. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah, okay. All right. I'll give you another Russian one, Jared. We'll see if I can say it. Vyperknut is shtanov, which means to jump out of their pants.
Is that like to be surprised
I'll give it to you.
or shocked?
I would say overexcited,
Overexcited.
but I'll give it to you.
Okay.
I'll give it to you. I'm going to top this off real quick.
My next one is Hindi, and it's Bagal mein bakcha shahar mein dihindora. And it means child being under your armpit while you made chaos in the city. The child is under your armpit while you made chaos in the city. Let's say it that way.
So is it like when you're out and about, and is it like when someone does something behind your back?
No, but we here in the United States have an untranslatable that has something to do with your nose.
Oh, it's right under your nose?
There you go.
Ooh. That answer was definitely not right under my nose until you gave me that tip. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
I didn't think the tip would be that clear,
Right. Well, Jared,
but I'm terrible at tips.
I decided in lieu of heading to China, I'd give you a Chinese untranslatable for today.
Have you made any effort on the Mandarin? No.
No, I
That's
hate to
a no
admit it. I
for
hate to
those of
admit
you
it.
not on YouTube.
I'm going to be honest. I have been too lazy. I've been enjoying my time here with my friends and family.
That's the thing. You definitely can't say you've been too busy.
No, I've been too lazy. Yeah, it's not busyness. That's for sure. I'm hoping once I get over there and start to get settled to block out time every day in my schedule to learn it.
Okay.
I do have 2 pocket dictionaries going with me and a bunch of apps on my phone.
Are you going to try to find a teacher?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
How does that work?
I'm hoping to do it similarly to the way I did it in the Czech Republic, which was
okay.
me teach them English and then they will teach me
Right.
Mandarin. But anyway, so here we go. This one is Chinese or Mandarin, and it is Yi Ming Jin Ren. And
Ooh, I like how that sounds.
And this, I probably screwed up the tones.
That's okay.
But what this means,
not.
though, Jared, is let's see here. The phrase means a sound that surprises people.
A sound that surprises people. Huh.
Any ideas?
This is a tough one. Can you give me some sort of hint? I don't even know where to go with this.
So Jared, say I get over to China, and for some odd reason decide to whip out my travel guitar on the corner, and then you
Which
see me,
I can imagine happening.
and you see me in the news in the States. American goes viral in China for playing guitar in the corner, and then you could say, oh, that was the sound that surprises people.
Like you weren't expecting that from someone.
Sorry, everybody. The soundboard went off with another Chinese
Mama
untranslatable. Not quite, Jared. It means to become famous overnight.
Oh, interesting. It's like a.
That's why I try to say viral. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's like a
okay.
quick. But yeah, that's a tough one.
Wait, say the untranslatable again in English.
A sound that surprises people.
That makes sense. It's like your 15 minutes of fame.
Exactly.
Okay.
And
I have one more,
okay,
and it's Luxembourgish. Did you know that was a language?
I did not.
Do you know how to check? Is there? If there's a little at the top?
Thank you. Yep,
Jesus
I see
Christ,
it.
Chat's a.
I was looking for it. I
It
couldn't
shocks
see it.
me. Anyway, my Luxembourgish seems to have some either Dutch or German in it. Van den Hund net geschas het dan het en den huiskrit.
Can you say that one more time?
Sure. Yeah, you might actually be able to get this
Yeah.
one. Van den Hund net geschas het.
Okay, wait, stop. So, like the dog wasn't shot?
No.
It wasn't closed on the dog? No.
Scheiß.
Oh,
Schass.
oh,
Geschass is
oh, and the dog didn't shit.
if the dog hadn't pooped,
Okay, thank you.
because het at the end.
Yeah.
Het en den huiskrit.
Then something about in the house.
Or hus. Excuse me, not
Hus.
hois. Hus.
That's house, but what's the end?
No,
of it?
it's not.
It's not.
Hair.
Uh,
He would have gotten the hair. If the dog hadn't pooed, he would have gotten the hair. Hus. Hues is like a hus, right? Because that would be kind of like an umlaut
Hus?
situation.
maybe who's? I don't know.
Hus.
I don't speak Luxembourgish.
If the dog hadn't pooed, he would have gotten the hair.
So is that like you gotta pay attention, you can't be sidetracked?
A little more specific.
Can you give me a tip?
Let's say Larry King emailed us for an interview,
As usual.
and you were like, "Oh, sweet, I'll totally reply." And then I'm like, "Hey, did you reply?" You're like, "Oh no, I'll do it now." And then he's like, "Never mind, you took too long." They would say if the dog, I would say to you, if the dog hadn't pooed,
So you just
would have gotten the hair.
lost your opportunity.
there you go.
Too late. You snooze, you lose, Jared.
Ooh, yes.
You snooze, you lose, people.
Yeah, missed opportunities.
Okay. I like that. Well, Jared, those have been some fantastic untranslatables. And I hope in the future you bring some more Luxembourgish to the table, because that was
Yeah,
cool.
it hadn't crossed my mind. I would also say you're trying to not miss opportunities. For example, going to China. You've traveled a lot, but it has mostly been to places that you're comfortable with. So you've gone to Germany a few times.
Yep.
You've been to Austria, which is essentially Germany, but with some class.
Oh, our German listeners are going to be
Slipping
happy
on
to hear
gator
that.
piss.
You've obviously been here in the U.S., but you've never really gone out of your travel comfort zone.
I'd agree with that 100%.
And this is a big move for you.
Yeah.
So first of all, when do you even leave? I don't even really know for sure.
So I leave on Sunday.
Okay, which
Okay,
is tomorrow.
Breaking the fourth wall.
Oh, yeah, we have to now.
Yep. Yep.
Shit's getting real, and
And-
I don't know the actual answer.
And then the flight is, I think, 13 hours, direct from Detroit to Beijing.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yep. Yep. And I have
Get it over with.
Exactly. I have my noise canceling headphones ready to go.
The longest flight I've been on was 12 hours, and before that, the longest flight I'd been on was probably about 8 or 9. And what I found is that didn't feel much different at that point.
That's kind of what I figured.
Yeah.
Like my parents are like, "Oh, that's such a long flight," and I'm like, "Well, I've gone 8 or 9 hours. I mean, what's another 4 or 5
Oh,
hours?"
remember I told you about the Qantas flight?
Yeah.
That was 19 hours. They're now in the testing stage of one that's going to be 20 hours. I don't remember exactly what the route was, but they're testing an even longer
No, that's
one.
a long flight. I would say anything after 14 or 15 is getting.
You might
really
notice
long.
that one. You might notice that one.
Yeah. Oh man, I would agree. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. But
Okay,
yeah.
12 hours. Or 13 hours.
13
That's your
hours.
longest flight.
And-
but direct flight for that long is amazing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And you don't have to worry about layovers or getting your bags or going through customs more than once.
Re-getting your bags again and rechecking them. That's so annoying.
Exactly. And I feel bad because I was talking to a colleague of mine named Jessica, and she has to take 4 flights.
No.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I'll pull it up.
4 flights
Yeah, because she's
because of the city in China.
yeah, because and where she lives. Well, so here, let me look it up real quick.
Okay,
So she goes DC to Dallas to Beijing to Chengdu, and then from Chengdu to Guiyang.
DC to Dallas to Beijing.
To Chengdu to Guiyang.
That's 5, isn't it?
I guess so, right? Well, she starts in DC, so then 1 would be Dallas. Well, I guess if you count DC, yeah, 5. Isn't that wild, though? And I think the main reason for me, though, is she is located in a more kind of, I think, her city is, it's not anywhere near Beijing. That's why she has to fly twice in China. Right. Whereas for me, I'm a 2-hour train ride from Beijing. So I got very lucky with my placement that I am not too far from Beijing.
Yeah, that would be awful. That's a lot of, especially when has she been to China before?
Never.
That's a lot. That's a lot to adjust to.
Right. And the other nice thing too, Jared, is there will be 2 other colleagues of mine actually on my flight. They have layovers in Detroit.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, they have layovers.
Yep.
You really got lucky.
I did, yeah.
And they're going to Beijing, and you guys are going to orientation together. Mm-hmm. See, that helps a lot. That already makes it a little bit easier because you already know that you're not going into it alone.
Absolutely. And both of them have been to China before.
Oh. So you're good.
Yep. And the other thing is
have been or they've worked in China before?
Both have worked.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And the other nice thing is too
because
is
Ben
I found out
doesn't mean anything.
Right. The other nice
it helps, but it doesn't mean anything as being able to like navigate a city.
Right. But the other nice thing is too is we'll have a driver pick us up at the airport and drop us right off to the hotel.
Oh, so you don't even need them.
Us. Yeah, they take care of us.
Wow.
Really well. I'm lucky.
5-star treatment.
Right. I mean, for me in the Czech Republic, it was not this easy. But then again, I felt more comfortable there because I had been to the Czech Republic before.
Right.
I've been to the EU, whereas I'd never been to China. So it'll be quite an experience just getting off the plane.
Are you going to have an operating phone as soon as you get there? Or do you have to get it as soon as you get, like you have to get a phone when you get there?
I have to find out, actually, because I think you can get SIM cards at the airport.
So the answer is no.
Well, I'll get one within the first couple of days for sure.
Right. But you're not going to show up there with the phone already ready to go?
Nope.
Okay. How's their, I know you're all concerned about the security of the internet, but how's their, like availability of internet throughout the city?
You mean Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's everywhere.
Oh, really?
A lot of places, yeah.
I got the feeling that seems like it would be that kind of place. Mm-hmm. That helps too. So even when you get there, you could still use your American phone, and I forgot. I guess you can't iMessage.
Well, you can iMessage. That's
okay.
Fine. So
they have iPhones there, of course.
But no,
they made them.
The thing is, right? The thing is that it's the same in some places in Germany where if you want to connect to the Wi-Fi, you have to send a code to your phone, and you have to have cell phone service.
That's where they get you.
So I've heard like westernized places, like if you go to Starbucks or McDonald's, you can get Wi-Fi, and I don't think you need a Chinese number. But other smaller places, you might need a Chinese number to like send a code so you can actually log onto the Wi-Fi.
Okay.
I think that might also be for security reasons.
All right, can I get a sip of your... You asked if I need a water, and I said no, and you're like, you sure? I said, no, I'm fine. I'm strong.
That's right. Jared likes to be fickle sometimes, but I appreciate
that's good.
It's good stuff, isn't it?
All right. What are your nerves like right now?
I'm feeling good about it. I think... Bless you. I think the big thing about my nerves was getting everything packed. And the funny thing was at first...
Why's that?
Just because... So now after having been in the Czech Republic for 10 months, I somewhat... On some extent, I know what I need and what I don't need. On the other hand, now that I'm going to such a new place with a different climate and everything, I really don't know. I also don't
Are
know.
winters a thing there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Does it get like legitimately cold?
It gets cold, but I don't think they get a ton of snow where I will be.
Okay, but you need to be like rather prepared for that.
So let me give you the lowdown on what I've packed, Jared.
Okay.
Because I've now that I've done it all, I have it fresh in my memory. So first, let's play a little guessing game. How many pairs of shoes do you think I took with me?
4.
Okay, so including the pair I'm wearing,
you have 4 shoes total. 4 pairs of shoes total.
Okay, so you're very close. I have 4 in my suitcase.
Wow.
So I have a pair of slip-ons,
like
they're
Vans
comfy.
kind of slip-ons.
Vans slip-ons. I have 2 pairs of like dressier shoes that I can wear to teach in or for a more formal occasion. Pair of black ones, pair of brown ones.
Right. Okay.
So the Vans, and then I have Then I have my Sambas. You have to take the Sambas. They're my workout shoes, table tennis shoes.
You betcha.
walking
Are you gonna get
around.
some good table tennis playing in?
I hope so. I gotta
didn't
pack
even
my
think
paddle,
about
actually.
that.
We can talk about that in a minute. But yeah, so Vans, 2 pairs of dressier shoes, Sambas. Then I have a pair of like Nike. They're like Nike high tops, but they're waterproof and they're like insulated.
yeah,
so I
those
use them
black
for the
ones?
winter. Yep, you've seen them. So that's 5, and then I'm taking a pair of comfy Jordans that I took with me to the Czech Republic.
Wow. Okay.
So
What sort of luggage receptacle are you using?
I'm using 2 large. They're like duffel bags, but they're
Like
more
rolly
duffel
duffel bags?
cases. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. And
You got to have a rolly.
oh, for sure. And the funny thing is at first I was only going to take one of the large duffel bags and a smaller Adidas like duffel bag,
Yeah.
like a gym bag almost. And then when I put up all my stuff on the bed just to kind of sort through it and see, okay, what will I need? What do I don't need? And I realized there's no way I'm fitting all this stuff in.
What's the protocol for luggage? Like, what airline are you taking?
So here's the good thing. So I'm taking Delta there.
Okay.
And I have 2 checked bags that are free that are up to 50 pounds.
Okay.
So that's
2
great.
check bag. Oh, wow.
When I went to the Czech Republic, I only had 1 check bag for 50 pounds. So
Okay.
I now in hindsight do not know how I went
Is
to
it
the
the
Czech
airline?
Republic. It's the airline. I went
Okay.
with Lufthansa instead of Delta to the Czech
Yeah,
Republic.
wow. That's
But
impressive.
the crazy thing is that I don't know in hindsight now how I went to the Czech Republic with 1 check bag and my backpack.
But you did buy stuff.
I bought way too much stuff over there.
But that still is an impressive feat, especially
Yeah.
for 10 months.
Absolutely.
And you had sort of, I don't want to say unnecessary stuff, but then you also had like podcast stuff.
Yep.
And
Guitar stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Presents. I brought some small presents for
Oh, that's
friends.
very nice of you.
And I did the same thing. I spent way too much money the other day, but I bought all sorts of Michigan stuff. I got cheap stuff like postcards, but I also bought some pens. Believe it or not, I've been told, I don't know if this is true, but I've been told like little collector spoons are kind of cool over there because they don't usually use spoons, right? I mean, they might with soup, but so I found
But they
some
don't
really
use like
cool-
our style of spoons.
Exactly. Also, I bought a little thing of travel utensils because I'm so
Oh my
terrible
gosh.
with chopsticks.
Dude.
So I'm going to be that guy at the
I
restaurant.
was gonna say how more it's way more embarrassing to be the guy bringing out your own Western utensils at a restaurant.
Well,
You can't use chopsticks at all.
I can, but it takes me forever.
Okay. Have you ever eaten ramen with chopsticks?
I have not. No.
Have you
Not a
ever
big
eaten ramen?
guy. Yeah, I'm not a big ramen guy, but I've
Dude,
had ramen.
you don't even like ramen?
It's
Oh my gosh.
but ramen's more of a Japanese thing, isn't it?
It is a Japanese thing. I'm just thinking about
What?
your experience when it comes to
Right.
China.
Well, yeah, I'm really
Ramen
curious to
scares
see
you.
well, it doesn't scare me. I'm just not a big noodles guy in general. I don't even eat very much pasta.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're a well, okay, I have one more question.
Okay. So Jared has one more question for me. I'm sure you got more than one, but
Oh yeah, I guess that's a weird way to say it. I have more than one question for you. Did you have to make any tough packing decisions? Now, luckily, you got to bring double the stuff essentially this time.
Yep.
So you actually got to be a little bit more lax with your decision making, but you still are going to be gone for 10 months, and this still is not 10 months worth of stuff you're bringing. So, what kind of tough decisions did you have to
didn't
make?
have to make any tough ones.
Okay, so that was a long question
It was super.
Nope.
It was super easy. Just because, and the funny thing was when I had everything laid out on my bed at first, I was like, "Oh, I'm not going to be able to fit this." I have room for more junk.
Oh, nice.
It's awesome.
You're
Like-
gonna probably bring back junk too.
Yep. Well, and little teaser alert. If I like it over there and there's an opportunity to extend my contract, I probably will.
Right.
And so then I'll probably leave a lot of the stuff I taught with over there when I come back for the summer. But don't want to jump the gun too much on that. But yeah, that's just a possibility. But so let me tell you. So
You're
we
in
covered the
coach?
shoes.
You're in coach on that flight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
They said they were paying for it, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know. Maybe they were like,
That would have been nice.
treat yourself.
I've heard you can upgrade, but you have to pay for that yourself. So
See, that actually might be worth it because then the upgrade is what, a couple $100?
I think it's 6 or 7.
That's not terrible. I would consider that. Especially for a 13-hour flight. But I understand it's not necessary.
You're just on different baller level status.
I am
Jared.
balling also,
That's true.
so there's that.
So we talked about shoes, and the reason why I brought so many shoes, Jared, is even though I don't have huge feet, I wear like a 9.5 or a 10, depending on the shoe. I've been told it can be difficult to find 9.5s and 10s in China. So
Well, No, I don't know if this is offensive, but they probably on average have a smaller shoe size than we do in America. And I bet like a 9 or a 10 is like my struggles with trying to find an 11 here or something like that.
Sure. Yeah. And so that's why I brought extra shoes. Otherwise, I probably would have just brought 3 pairs.
I feel like it's not. I can't imagine it'd be that hard to find shoes.
That's what I was told.
How is that possible?
I don't know. I mean, I know a couple really tall Chinese guys that wear like 7s and 8s, and they're taller than me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just that the size is that far out of the range.
Right. And you might be able to find them, but you wouldn't
That's
have
like
a lot of
Shaq
options.
trying to find shoes. And
Right. But the other nice thing too with having 2 bags is I've also been able to. I brought a couple flannels.
Okay.
Pumped about my flannels. 2 hoodies. Let's see here. 2 flannels, 2 hoodies. I'm bringing my suit. I'm also bringing a sport coat, like a blazer.
Right.
I'm also hoping to get a tailored suit over there
Ooh,
as well.
fancy.
Get a navy blue one, I think, because those look really nice.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, and so it was really good though, Jared. I have to say, once I dispersed my little mini pharmacy going with me, and then I started to realize, okay, I can really do this, and both suitcases should be well under 50 pounds. I would guess they're about 35 or 40 right now.
Okay.
So
That's pretty good.
Yep.
All right. What's the first thing you have to do when you get there? Like, where are you going to be driven to?
The hotel is near I think they call it the Embassy District in Beijing.
So they take you to the hotel, and then you drop off your stuff, and then you go to like or do you have like the day to yourself?
The first day I just have to myself, which is great.
Interesting.
So,
what are you gonna do? Any plans? Any thoughts?
So I might go have dinner with
Sleep.
a couple of my colleagues. Definitely sleep. And the other thing, why I have this over here, is another big thing that I am bringing is a travel guitar, which is a must.
Chad's gonna play for us on the podcast.
I'm not going to play for you.
You could probably plug that into your
I easily could.
audio interface.
Oh, I can't because we're using both of the.
That's
both of
true.
the
You can
things, but
unplug me. It's okay.
For all of our people on YouTube, this is
Oh wow! I've
what I'll be taking.
I've never
Take a
seen this
gander
thing
at it,
before.
Jared. So it's made by a company called Traveler Guitars. Looks great with Jared playing it. Fits him perfectly. Although you play guitar lefty, but hey, that's all right. I think lefty guitar looks cooler, to be honest. But the cool thing about this guitar, though, is it fits very conveniently in the overhead bin of a plane and a train. There we go. I don't know if it's in tune, but yeah. So it's great. And the other cool thing about this, though, Jared, and why I love this thing so much, is that on this end of it, right here, if you can see, there's
Yes.
a regular 1/4-inch jack. So
Yes.
that's like for guitar amp. Then you have here, this is the headphone jack.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, sorry, got a text message.
Oh, I was
this-
like, what just happened?
And this is for like your iPod or your phone, you can plug in.
So it's like that's an input.
Yep.
So you could have like a drum line or a drum
Or a
not-
jam
or
sesh by myself. Yep.
Interesting. So you
Yep.
could like on YouTube just pull up like a drummer
Yeah.
and play guitar along to the drummer.
Yep. As long as you have that right type of cable, absolutely.
Awesome. Have
And-
you done that before?
Actually, no, I haven't, because I usually just play through my computer and
Okay.
do that. But yeah, and I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like this thing, I took this with me to Germany, and it's great. I didn't take this one with me to Czech Republic. I have a different one. I took
Oh,
with me
really?
to Czech Republic, yeah.
Chad's got so many toys.
I do. I
For
love
someone
my
that
guitars.
Has spent months unemployed. You seem to have a lot of toys.
I've had these toys for a while. I've had this one for
okay.
probably 3 years, maybe 4 now. Yeah, 4 years. I bought it in 2015. But the nice thing about this, though, Jared, is that I'm hoping to use this to combat any long delays places, whether that be in the airport or wherever. And
You do
yeah,
take it everywhere.
I do.
I remember you telling me that. Like, I remember asking you on one podcast. I said, like, how long does the trip have to be for you to bring it with you? And you're like, a night.
Yep. Exactly. I took it with me to DC, and I was there for 4 days, 5 days.
Okay.
So yeah, so I'm looking forward to having that with me as well. And the other good thing is I can pack some extra stuff in here if I need to.
Okay. Well,
Like I have a
speaking
couple
of
t-shirts
packing
going
extra
in there,
things, are you bringing any snacks?
Nope. As of yet, I don't have any snacks with me, no.
Have you thought about it?
Not really, no.
Okay.
Maybe I should.
At least for the plane flight.
Right. Maybe I'll bring my mom made some really good homemade chocolate chip cookies. So
She has them here now?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we can.
Oh,
get some
can I go? And I'm really hungry.
Absolutely.
Have you? So, what's your social plan when you get there? Not just like when you first get there, but just in general on making friends, on sort of getting comfortable with the area. What's your plan there?
So number one, I was thankfully added to a group called Expats in Jinan on Facebook by one of my colleagues, Kelly.
Where are they? One of the ones that you're going to meet in Detroit on the flight?
No, but I'll meet her in Beijing.
Okay.
And so that's one way I'm planning on meeting people. I've already reached out to a few people who play music, so I'm hoping to get some jam sessions going. Other than that,
where'd you find these music? Oh, through the group?
Through the group on Facebook.
Group.
Yep.
Okay.
Then also, I'm hoping to get to know my colleagues at the university and just through friends of friends start to meet people and see how things go.
I wonder what the office structure is like in what's the inter-office social situation like in the schools in China?
I'm not sure yet.
You're the only American, right?
No, not at my university.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But obviously, you're still the minority.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Most definitely.
Okay.
Most
okay.
definitely.
I'm surprised you're not bringing any snacks.
Yeah, I'm not. What snacks would you suggest?
I would bring Cheez-Its.
Oh, good call.
Cheez-Its are good to travel with. That's a lot of T's. I would bring my favorite animal crackers that you're very familiar with.
Uh-huh.
I would bring maybe a trail mix, a Chex Mix of some sort.
Can't go wrong with trail mix.
Maybe some sort of bar of some sort. Whatever. Choose your favorite bar. I'm not a huge bar person unless I'm going to get some drinks.
Bar,
if you
or a
know
chewy bar or something.
Yeah, but choose your favorite bar.
Okay.
Throw a couple of those in there. You like Cliff Bars? I'm kind of hit or miss on Cliff Bars. I'm not a huge fan of Cliff Bars. But yeah, I think I would bring some snacks on a flight that long. So are you looking into joining? Ooh. Now, I keep on trying to dip my toe into the WeChat conversations. I can't help it, Chad.
Mm-hmm. You need to get WeChat, by the way.
Can we talk to each other through WeChat?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, we can video chat everything.
All right,
we're everything, man.
We're talking through WeChat.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll help you get set up after this episode.
Okay.
It's real easy.
You can have it in English, I assume.
Yep, mine's in English.
Are there expat groups you could join through WeChat?
Yeah. Actually, the one on the Facebook group, I think they have a WeChat group.
Is it easier to... Because Facebook is probably blocked in China.
It is.
So it's easier with WeChat.
Exactly. And the nice thing is with WeChat, it's a way, that we can all stay in touch. No problem, no
While
worries.
you're there.
Right. Now, thankfully, with you and I and with my parents, because we all are Apple sheep, as some people would say, we can easily stay in touch with iMessage.
Oh, so iMessage is not a problem, even if it's out of the country.
Right. Shouldn't be.
So FaceTime's not a problem either.
Also shouldn't be a problem.
Oh, okay.
And I believe because Skype is a part of Microsoft, Skype should also still work.
Oh, why are we concerned about this podcast? It'll be fine. Well, let's be clear. I'm not concerned. Chad's concerned, but that's why I like having
one of us has to be
exactly. It'll be fine. What does your daily schedule look like? Once you're up and going, past orientation.
Once I'm up and going, let me pull it up.
What do you use to keep track of your schedule? First of all,
well, right now because I have no idea what
sort of email situation they use there.
No.
Do companies use WeChat?
Yeah. Everybody uses
So WeChat is something like a company would use. Like, for example, my company uses Skype as sort of like our inner, like chatting. Like a lot of companies have inner chatting. Sometimes there's a one called Link.
Yep.
Like a big company would use WeChat for that.
Yeah.
And you could have like a company server for WeChat.
I don't know if you can have a company server.
Well, but you can have but a company can't have like a essentially like a company group that you have to get like some sort of company password to get into.
I have no idea.
Okay.
These are great questions. I don't know. Okay, Jared, so here's my schedule.
I just keep wanting to dip into the WeChat
I'll let you peep it, but I will tell our listeners. So it's a pretty good schedule. So I have, I believe, 12. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, some of these are double hours. So I have about 12 hours of teaching per week, give or take.
Okay.
So every other Monday, I'll be teaching a methodology class at 2 o'clock. Then on Tuesdays, I'll be teaching from, I believe, 2 to 4:30.
So hold on one second. you have one class on Wednesday at 8:20 in the morning.
Yep.
Other than that, your earliest class is 2 in the afternoon.
Correct.
You literally do not have to. There's our Apple Sheep devices.
Going off.
You don't have to set an alarm at all.
No, but I'm going to, so I can get up and do stuff.
Okay. Are you not good at waking up at consistently without an alarm?
I do, but it's usually around 10 o'clock.
Okay, because I was going to say, that's a good point. I text you during the week, and it's shocking to me the time that you respond.
Yep.
Just casually waking up at 10:30.
It's great.
I love how you're like, no, I don't need an alarm, but I'll just wake up at almost noon.
Yep. That's how I do it over the summer. Yeah, so it looks like a pretty good schedule. Now, what's interesting, though, is the methodology courses I'll be teaching are fairly large courses, and
class size, you mean?
yes.
Okay.
And
Is this your first time with a large class size?
for the most part, yeah. The biggest class I think I've ever taught was 27 students, and that was actually a German class, not an
Which
English
is not
class.
terrible, especially for universities.
Right. Now, what's interesting, though, is I'll be teaching the methodology course with other teachers. Like, there's different sections, section 1, section 2, section 3, but they all have the same final exam at the end of the semester. So we have to
Interesting.
coordinate with the other teachers on the content and what we're doing.
So do you guys have to meet up to make lesson plans? Or is it more
I
a
think it's
broader
more-
agreement
I
than
would
that?
I would think it's more broad, but I'm not sure. I would be open to either. But,
Interesting. So
yeah.
are there competitions, not competitions because these are children's futures we're talking about, but is there any kind of way of assessing which teacher did the best job based off of them teaching three different... Also, it's so hard because, students are so different.
Yeah, I don't know
There's
how
too many variables.
I don't know how you'd be able to assess that. I think some of it would be, honestly, it's hard to say. I would say give the students a survey and which students learn the most, but that could also be whichever ones were the hardest working. It's really hard to say, Jared. I'm not really sure. But yeah, I just want all of the students, regardless if they're in my section or not.
Oh,
to
that's
succeed.
lovely, Chad.
So
Wow.
So yeah, but it looks like a pretty good schedule, and the whole reason why I'm not teaching on Fridays is so I can go give presentations and workshops at other universities.
Do you have to find those yourself? I remember you mentioning those.
Yes,
tiny
so
bit.
I have what they call like a.
Oh yeah, I just realized that
menu.
goes from Monday to Thursday. That's not even Friday on the schedule.
Yep. And so basically, what that means though is, yeah, I'll be going to like the embassy in Beijing to give workshops. I'll be giving one, I think, on September 19th, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
And yeah, so some of these you can send messages to the universities. Other ones you will be approached by the embassy or by a university saying, "Hey,
Do
we're having
they
this
look
conference."
for people like you?
I hope so.
Okay.
I hope so. We'll see. We'll find out. We'll find out.
Well, what kind of speeches are they? Like, what's the topic? What would you talk about?
It really depends. I prefer.
You get paid, I assume. Just okay,
No.
about that.
No, this is a part of the
Okay.
agreement. It's part of the agreement.
Oh.
I mean, that's why I work. That's why I'm only working like 12 teaching hours.
Oh, that's so doing that is essentially part of the job.
It is.
You're expected
it's
to do those
another
things.
responsibility. Exactly.
That is just something that you do to occupy yourself.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Although that would be something I would probably do to occupy
Right,
myself.
right.
But no, it's part of the responsibility, which I'm really looking forward to because, not that I'm a veteran teacher or anything, but, with my 5 years in the classroom, I've definitely learned some things. And I think being educated in the West, you get a different perspective than the way they are taught in the East.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping to really try to help them teach communicative language teaching, task-based language teaching, improve their speaking and listening classes with fun and exciting activities, also involving music in the classroom as well.
And in a selfish way, it's like it looks good on your resume to say
Sure.
you did that.
Of course.
And it's definitely like a step, like a career step,
Of course. And in the future, Jared, I would love to be a teacher trainer or a director.
Interesting. I mean, that's kind of what your classes that you're teaching are leaning towards. Because
Exactly.
as we mentioned on a relatively previous episode, you're teaching Chinese students how to teach English. You're not teaching them English.
Correct. Yeah, they have already had English by now.
Right. Especially if they expect to be teachers, their English should be pretty good.
Exactly. Yeah. And if you look, like my sections are all junior classes other than the freshman speaking class I'll be teaching.
Right. So you're teaching pretty, I don't know, quote unquote advanced, but a higher level classes.
Right. Now, I will say this though, Jared, this will be an adjustment because I'm more used to being the facilitator and not the lecturer.
Right.
But I think with these methodology classes, in some ways, I will have to be the lecturer.
Do you get excited or intimidated or both?
I'd say more excited. I think the only thing that I'm intimidated about is, as you know, if you've listened to our podcast, I can go off on tangents.
Right.
And so really sticking to the material and making sure the students are learning everything they need to learn so they can succeed in the classes.
Will it be... Oh, sorry.
Because the students could very well ask me really good questions that are related to teaching methodology.
Right.
But sadly, the truth of education is a lot of times we teach to the test. And so I don't want to teach my students all this other cool stuff, but then when they go to take the exam and they fail it.
Right. Is that one class with a break, 5-minute break?
Which one?
Is that what the time is saying on the side here where it says the time?
That is the break. Yeah, there's 5 minutes.
Okay, so it's a 2-hour class with a 5-minute break in the middle.
Yes, most of them, unless otherwise stated. Like these, it's from 3 to 4:30. So yeah.
Do you think... So this, I assume, and this is just from what I'm picking up here, it seems like this is going to be more of a lecturing situation than a interaction sort of situation.
Correct.
That seems like it could be a struggle for you to adjust to, because this you sort of I'm not, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you seem to have sort of an aversion to that sort of just straight up lecture, but it doesn't seem like you really have an option based off of what you're teaching and based off of just the number of students in there. Like, that's not really a conversation size of students.
Correct.
Is that something like I don't want to ask you if you're looking forward to it, but is it sort of a bummer almost? Where it's like, yeah, I'm excited this is a new step in my career, but it is unfortunate that I kind of have to give in to this style of teaching that I'm not a huge fan of.
I think I'm just going to try to make it my own.
Okay.
I think I'm going to try to have lecturing in there, but also I had an amazing teacher for my methodology course in grad school, and she did a great job of delegating different things, and she would basically use every class we had, and this is why I loved her class, to show and demonstrate different activities and way to teach certain things.
Oh, so she would use you guys as the students and like teach you how
Correct.
to... Oh, so it was a little more hands-on.
Correct. And I'm hoping to do that there if it's possible. Now, it really depends, because I think a couple of the other teachers are Chinese teachers. So they might have a different opinion on how that course should be taught.
And how do the students react to this? Are they used to that sort of interactive teaching? Is it going to be easy to get them involved in that sort of thing?
I'm not sure. I'll tell you after my first week.
We'll get back to that.
We'll find out.
It also is interesting that your program did seem to... we were talking about this during your orientation here in D.C. I say here because it's not 13 hours away in China.
Right.
You're talking about how they sort of encourage you to talk about your experience on social media and share your class pictures from the classroom. For me personally, that makes me a little more comforting. That's a little more comforting for me, is what I meant to say. Because at least when you were in Czech Republic, I don't think it mattered, but you did at least start off way more concerned to talk about Fulbright, to even talk about sort of the specifics of what's happening with your program. I think you loosened up as we went on, especially once we had Ravi on, because he is a Fulbright, and David, because you did have other Fulbrighters that clearly didn't care.
Right. Yeah, I guess for me, just because, we joke around and sometimes we talk about some more controversial topics.
Yeah, I think we're not as bad as you think we are.
Probably not.
But I think that we just have different lines also for what's a terrible joke.
That's true. But yeah, I'm excited for it, and I'm happy to promote the English Language Fellowship on social media, on this podcast as well. I think it's a great opportunity. As we may have mentioned in previous episodes, we have the biggest number this year of 202 of us, I think, in 89 different countries. Yeah, in 89 different countries around the world. And I really think we're doing a great thing out there, and we're really trying to help a lot of other countries, not only the students, but the teachers, by giving them professional development opportunities and a lot of great things.
And we enjoy doing teacher episodes. We haven't done them as often, but that's just because you've been at home doing nothing, sleeping all day.
That's true. That's true.
But once you're working again and you're in a situation that's a teaching situation that's completely different than anything that I'm not experiencing it, than you've ever experienced. It'll be interesting to bring those back a little bit more and use it as a great way to talk about, just social situations and the different cultural differences, which we like to talk about here at the Untranslatable Podcast.
Absolutely.
Hey, I have a quick question.
Sure.
What's the time difference?
12 hours.
Straight up 12 hours?
Yep, straight up 12 hours.
So it's easy.
Yep.
Okay. And based off of your schedule, it should be no problem for us to record.
Exactly. We could even do it 8.
Well, 8
at
o'clock
night.
any day of the week other than Wednesday we could do. That makes me happy too. It'll be easy for us. Because a little part of me thought that I'd be like, getting up
Waking
at 2
up
in the
super
morning or
early?
something
No,
like
no,
that.
No, definitely not. Yeah,
Like, all right, I got a nap at 8 o'clock, wake
Right.
up at 2, edit it at 4 in the morning.
the funny thing is though, it's just a different window of time.
Yeah.
Because when I was in the Czech Republic, there was like a certain window that would work, that wouldn't work. It'll be the same thing here. I feel like 8 to noon one way, or 8 to midnight one way or another will work.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
For either of us.
Yeah,
Obviously
either way.
getting towards the midnight side makes it more difficult for the both of us because
Right.
we'll have jobs. But otherwise, yeah, I think I'm not concerned about the time difference really.
I guess it might be the inner logistics, but
Right, but we'll figure it out.
so 12 hours. I was looking up tips for expats about Jinan. I did not find much. I'm gonna be honest with you,
What'd you find?
but I did find that the people of Jinan are nice. Have you heard that? And very friendly.
I've heard that people in China in general can be very hospitable. I can't talk today.
Okay.
And friendly towards
I didn't know
foreigners.
that. I didn't
Yeah.
know that. I didn't know that was sort of like a common stereotype.
And from what I've heard too, is they're just very curious because they don't see a ton. Right, they don't see a ton of foreigners there. Depending on where, if you're in Beijing or Shanghai, that's a little different.
Right.
And even Jinan, I mean, I think there's a decent sized expat community, but if you go to like a 4th, 5th, 6th tier city, you're not going to see many at all.
I actually heard most of the expats usually are either students or teachers. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure on WeChat you can find like expat teacher groups very easily.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
And expats seem to love talking about being expats.
Yeah. I hope I don't become that expat, but I might.
I didn't even realize you could. I mean, when you were in Czech Republic, theoretically you were an expat. It didn't even really dawn on me because until randomly, like once you're already back, because you'd never used that term before.
Right. I mean, the other thing is
We've been on an expat podcast, and you never even really made it clear that you were an expat.
Right. That's
Check
true.
us out on the Expat Cast.
That's true.
With Nicole.
I don't know. I think the thing is in the Czech Republic it was different because I was the only American in the entire town.
Right.
Whereas in China I will not, which will be kind of nice. But I also want to
And
try
the
to make some
community's
Chinese
stronger,
friends.
I think, in a more sort of
Small town.
a smaller town,
Yeah,
and a
for
culture
sure.
that you're less used to.
Right, and I was lucky to have amazing colleagues at my school there that made me feel very welcome. And I think it'll be very similar here, but I think the difference will be is the ones that I'll probably spend the most time with will probably be the expat teachers because they'll have a similar schedule.
Right.
And some of them may have families, but a lot of them, their families will probably be over there with them. So it's a little different. Whereas my Chinese colleagues will, they'll be going home to their families.
Right.
They'll have other responsibilities. So it's a little different.
And none of them are going to be around your age without families?
I think a lot of people in their mid to late 20s
Are already married at that point?
could be. Yeah, I think, but I could be
Damn.
wrong.
What's the rush? People enjoy life.
Right. Beats me, man.
Take a trip to Canada.
Beats me. That's true. Let me tell you, though, Jared, just a couple things to kind of wrap up our preparation,
Okay.
The main segment. I think the biggest thing for me for the preparation, one was, and I hate to say this in one way because there's still a lot of people I was hoping to see this summer that I didn't get to see.
Right.
But that was a big thing for me was making sure I could see a lot of my friends.
You betcha.
We got to see each other a lot.
Right. I apologize to all my friends out in East Lansing and Lansing. I never made it out this summer, and I was hoping to.
He doesn't care.
I do care. Jared doesn't care. But yeah.
I don't even know these people.
Right. But yeah.
I do like following Krishna on Instagram.
He's great.
He has a great Instagram.
He does.
And I always enjoy the few times I hung out with him back when I guess it was more than a few
He's
times.
a cool guy. And I didn't get to see him. So Krishna,
Yeah.
I'm sorry I couldn't see you this summer. Hopefully next summer we'll find.
I don't think your car moved once the entire time you were here, and I feel like I'm probably gonna drive when we go to Ann Arbor too.
I was going to ask if you wanted to. That's so
if I
funny.
want to,
Right.
I've been waiting to chauffeur chat around
That's
Ann
right.
Arbor.
That's right. But yeah, so the big thing for the preparation was trying to see as many friends as I could.
Mm-hmm.
Also spent a lot of time with my parents and my family, which was great. And the other thing for preparation too was I tried to do some research on Jinan. Tried to do some research on, I have a couple little phrases and sayings under my belt in Mandarin.
Shisha.
Right, shisha, which means thank you.
Mama hoo hoo.
There you go. So yeah, and I think the biggest thing though too is now, Jared really knows this. Most of you won't, but months ago, I was kind of terrified of the idea of going there.
Yeah.
Because of the air pollution, I had heard a lot of kind of horror stories.
And I really felt like, and this is what I was telling you back then, like, it seems like you were really, like, seeking out the scary stuff. Like,
I was.
You were just, it was like a confirmation bias, essentially. Where
Yeah.
it's like, if you wonder what sort of the stuff to be scared about in Jinan or in China, you're going to find bad stuff.
Of course.
You can do that at most places.
Right. And now I'm not really that scared. I'm very excited. I'm a little nervous just because it's all going to be so new.
I mean, that's natural.
normal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're going to a brand new country to work for 10 months.
Exactly. But I'm super excited, and I'm so thankful and fortunate to have this opportunity. And I think it will bring us a lot of funny and interesting stories throughout throughout my year in Jinan. So I think it will be great.
I'm super excited. You know, I make jokes about how it'll be great content for the podcast, which is true. I'm serious. I guess it's not really a joke.
Right.
But like, I am very excited to the fact that we do this podcast together. And so it'll be like, it is cool to hear and learn about these things firsthand and you know, I felt when you were in Czech Republic, I almost felt kind of lucky as far as, like, you know, your family and stuff, because even though you talk to your family pretty regularly, I feel like no one got as much info and insights as I did, just because
I think you're right.
We talk so consistently,
with
and
that.
I pull them out of you because we do a podcast about the stuff.
Right. And the other thing is, too, about preparing for something like this, for me at least, what I did, which maybe isn't the right thing, it depends on the person.
Okay.
But all the clothing and stuff I brought, if a suitcase were to be lost or if I were to be robbed or something, none of
This
it.
is some classic Chad.
None of it really has. I mean, I like a lot of the clothing I'm taking.
Right, you don't want to go robbed, is what you're saying.
Right. but the thing is that none of it is.
You're not
so
bringing your
important.
Gucci or Prada?
I'm not. Believe it or not, no. You know, and that's the thing is, I think for me, I always have a better peace of mind when I travel with something that I know can be replaced. Like, it doesn't have so much sentimental value to me where it's like, oh no, if I lose this, you know, I'm going to be heartbroken, right?
Yeah. You did say you were
yeah.
going to get a smaller audio interface.
I didn't do it.
No, but I'm glad you didn't.
Bringing this with me.
I'm glad you're bringing that one. I like that one.
I looked into the smaller version of this, and it's only, you know, it's only a
Right,
couple
it's not
inches
that much smaller for
it's not
one
that much
XLR
lighter.
port.
Right. And
It's like I like having the two as well, because you never know.
it's nice. Yeah, I could, if I try to dabble in some singing and songwriting, I could plug
Oh,
a
that's
mic
not what
in
I
here
meant. I
and a
meant
guitar
guests.
here.
Look
Put
forward
that
to some.
too.
I'm sure we're going to have guests.
Yeah, I hope so. I really
Yeah.
hope so. I already have a few in mind for over there.
Oh, perfect.
We'll
Awesome.
We can talk about that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the other thing too about preparation for something like this is I think it's very important for you to go into it with a very open mind.
Yes,
And
you have to.
also be aware, at least for me, because I don't have the Chinese language skills. And I'm going to be honest with you, Jared, I think I probably could have diligently tried to study the summer, and I still would not have good enough survival skills.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why
probably would have just
that was
stressed you
my
out.
excuse to not do it too much.
It's obviously just an excuse, but I understand where you're coming from.
It's kind of true. And the other thing about it too is that I am aware, and I have accepted the fact that when I go over there, essentially I'm going to be kind of like an infant.
Yeah.
Like, I can't do anything on my own. Like, I can't
even read.
I can't read, can't buy train tickets. I can do some of this stuff on my phone.
Do they have translators like you showed me in Czech Republic?
Yeah, they do. And I need to download. Actually, I have some stuff to do tonight.
You can do it through WeChat.
Right. Well, you can translate some stuff on WeChat. Also, Google Translate is usable over there, although most Google things are blocked in China.
That one they allow.
They do, and you can download an offline Chinese like packet from the Google Translator app. So I'm going to do that as well.
So like it has like an amount of words that without internet you can use the camera function.
Exactly.
Ooh, that's so cool.
Yeah, technology is great, man. And
I love that.
I'm taking 2 or 3 portable batteries to charge my phone and my other electronics. So I hopefully will not go without my phone. Because the thing
Your
is,
precaution is hilarious, but I
Right.
appreciate it as well.
Because, well, the thing is once I get my WeChat set up with my pay and everything, I mean, I know a few people that lived in China that literally didn't even go with their wallet. Like, they just go with their phone. because you can pay for everything on your phone. Get your Uber.
How does that work? Is it like Apple Pay kind of situation?
No, so the way it works, from my understanding, is you link a bank account to it, and there's a QR code on your WeChat. You hold up the QR code, and the cash register will scan it, and it takes it. It's kind of like a virtual debit card.
I'm kind of afraid to use like Apple Pay for some reason. I don't know why.
I haven't used it yet.
Like obviously, my one of my credit cards is hooked up to iTunes, but I get uncomfortable with the idea of all my credit cards being on my phone.
Right. So just some words of advice for some people out there. If you ever do something like this, go somewhere for 10 months, especially in a country where you can't read or write in the language, you don't speak it. Be aware that things are just going to take much longer to get accomplished.
Yes.
If you want to open a bank account, make sure you go with someone who speaks the language. If you want to,
can you get? Is it? Are there a lot of opportunities for you to get scammed?
Probably.
Or is it more like street-related stuff?
I know of a few of them. I mean, I've been told that you pay the foreigner price at any place you haggle because they'll just automatically charge you higher.
Start higher.
And because I can't speak the language, it would be difficult for me to really haggle too much.
Listen, I realize I've been being mean to you a lot this episode. And I don't mean to be mean, but I don't take you for being a good haggler at all.
Nope. I'm going to have to grow a bit more of a backbone while I'm over there. But I think it'll be good. I've read a lot of stuff about China, and one thing that I've read that resonated through almost everything I read was a lot of expats try to go to China to change China. You will not change China, but China will definitely change you.
Interesting. On that note, China will also change you because you will hopefully be bringing some Chinese songs of the pod.
Oh, you better believe it.
To the Untranslatable podcast in a couple weeks. Mm-hmm. But for now, we have one that we found on one of our favorite sites for international music. It's called Colors, and they always have modern music from all around the world. And this lovely lady, what's her name? You have it in front of you.
Her name is Mayra Andrade, I believe, is how you say it.
Mm-hmm. You gotta hit the little. You're on your computer.
What?
We can't hear anything. What's her name again?
Mayra Andrade.
And what's the name of the song?
The song is called Tan Kala.
So we did
Tan Kalakatan, I believe.
So we discovered that she's from Cape Verde, which is in Africa.
It's off the coast, of I believe Senegal and Gambia.
Okay, wow. And it's called Cape Verde, but they call it Cabo Verde. And that's probably because that's how you would say it in Portuguese, because that's what they speak there. Which I assume is probably a very interesting and very lovely dialect of Portuguese. I mean, obviously it's a dialect of Portuguese. Right. But I'm sure it's, at least if it sounds anything like her singing, I'd be very happy to listen to it.
How would you describe the song, Jared?
Maybe like soul.
Okay.
Like is that like a neo soul?
I get like a slow reggae feel almost.
I get a soul feel, but I think the reggae is just because of the culture, you know?
Could be. Well, it's, at least for me, they have the piano going on the offbeats.
Oh,
yeah.
I see what you're saying.
So that to me gives it that kind of reggae or even maybe island-ish feel.
I mean, it's definitely island feeling.
Yeah.
But it sounds like an island spin on like a kind of a neo soul song to me.
That's fair. Yeah, and she has a beautiful voice. It's such a good song. And we have the lyrics. It's actually, so just so you know, Jared, Tan Kalakatan is empty.
You got to eat that mic a little bit. You're losing it.
It's empty.
I know you've been angry with this stand.
I know, right? This is what happens when you get it in your bundle with Amazon. Anyways,
thanks for giving me the good one.
Right? No kidding. That's how you know I value you as a friend, Jared. Getting scoliosis over here, just enjoying your mic. Anyways, though, so the song is called "Empty," and it's basically about when you, I guess, the way you feel when somebody leaves you.
Okay. Empty. Yeah.
And I would say the vocals...
Everyone will feel that at some point in their life.
I feel like the vocals have a bit of a somber tone to it.
Yeah, it's almost like a pleading sort of sound to it. Why sort of sound to it.
Right, exactly. So yeah, but it's an awesome song. Check it out by Mayra Andrade. Tan Kalakatan. I can kind of say it now a little bit.
Can I see it? Hold on. Twist it towards me. Tan Kalakatan.
There we go.
Tan
Boom.
Kalakatan.
So yeah, it's a great song. Check it out on our YouTube channel, Untranslatable Podcast, and it will be up there for you. So Jared, I have a new Chinese word for you today.
Okay.
And the word is, let me hear it one more time, is 冒险, and it means adventure.
Adventure. Okay.
冒险.
I have so Sydney and I have been watching False Identidad. Mm-hmm. That show's really taking a turn, bro.
Uh-oh.
There's now selling of 18-year-old girls to the cartel. There's been some, I don't even like to use this word on the podcast, rape.
Oh,
it's just, I didn't expect it to go this deep. And both of us are like, this is kind of intense. But for now, we're still watching it. But that has nothing to do with my my word. But that is, whenever I think of the Spanish word, I do think of me having watched False Identidad. My word is buena suerte.
It means good luck.
Yeah, man. And I wanted to wish you a buena suerte.
I appreciate it.
I'm proud of you.
You betcha.
This is a big deal, and it's as I said a second ago, I'm glad that I can be on this journey with you.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
See it happening firsthand.
You can live vicariously through me for now.
Yeah, we'll chat. Let's when you were in Czech Republic, we used Facebook all the time.
Right.
And I don't have a problem using Facebook. It's there.
WeChat.
We're using WeChat from now on.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I have a little Spanish word of the pod, not to steal your thunder.
Okay, but you're going to.
I'm going to. I love buena suerte. It's a great one.
Okay.
Another good one that I thought you might say today was bien viaje.
Oh, good, like bon voyage, bon voyage,
good
or have a good journey.
But I'll tell you what, I think I like buena suerte.
As I was saying buena suerte, I was actually thinking about saying, I was like, how did I not think of bon voyage?
Right.
Oh, maybe I did. Bon voyage. I said that like such an American. Maybe I did think of bon voyage, but I thought that would be too obvious, and I thought
fair.
I knew you'd probably know that one, but you might not know good luck. But hey, you knew both of them. And this is why I like having you as my untranslatable co-host.
I try to be a cultured individual sometimes, Jared. What can I say?
You're so classy.
So, Jared, we're keeping it classy today, and no jokes, unfortunately.
Now, this has been we've had a lot of good stuff to talk about here. We don't need to
That's true.
cheapen this episode.
That is true.
Jokes.
But I do want to give a quote of the pod today, and I think the biggest quote for any big life change, any preparation to a big life change, the most important things, in my opinion, are friends, flexibility. I wish I had another F for you guys to keep the alliteration going, but also an open mind.
Friends, flexibility, and
a friggin' open mind, Jared.
And a friggin' open mind.
I think those are
freedom.
That'll
work
too.
Flexibility and freedom is kind of similar, though.
Yeah.
Right. I agree with you. Or I was trying to workshop it for you. I agree with you, though. I think that people hear that you're doing this, and they have all sort of reactions.
Yep, usually.
And I think maybe you don't think this, but you would agree with me that when someone has that reaction, your reaction to them is probably like, anyone can do this. You could do this too.
Yep.
And it's like, I mean, it might be harder because you chose a career that specifically puts you in these positions. Right. But if you find that career and cared about it, you could do this too. Like, I'm not doing anything out of the ordinary. And I'm not trying to cheapen what you're doing, because it does take, experience, and it does take a lot of, you have to find these things and work for them. But it's you just have to want to do it, I think. And I love that you want to do that stuff.
And you just got to be willing to take the plunge. And I think it's worth taking the plunge.
And it's so easy to find excuses why you can't do it, I think. Because I think I do that sometimes when I look for, or I'm not looking for a job right now, just to be clear. But when I am, if any employers are listening to this, but when I consider the idea of working abroad, I think more about the obstacles rather than trying to make it happen.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I have to say I'm very fortunate to be in a position where I still can do these things.
Yeah.
I've heard this billions of times from people. You got to do it while you're young. And now's the time. And so you got to take advantage of it. Exactly. So, So we hope you've enjoyed this episode. And if you have any questions about my China preparation or packing or anything of the sort, let us know at untranslatablepodcast@gmail.com. If you want to experience Jared's keen wit and see some good tweets, check us out on Twitter, Untranslatable1. If you want to hear some more amazing music, kind of like Tan Kalakatan, check us out on YouTube, Untranslatable Podcast. And lastly, please, 5-star reviews on iTunes and Stitcher. We would really appreciate it. Let us know how we can make this podcast even better for you. So as we say here at the Untranslatable Podcast, Yakuyame. muchas gracias, and 谢谢.